Hi everyone. Um, it's Victor here again. Happy to have you on my YouTube channel, and thank you for stopping by to walk through this session with me. I'm super excited on what we'll be treating today, which is skill-based routing in dynamic CRM. I hope you enjoy it and do well to subscribe and also do well to like and share this video to your colleagues that might need it. With that, you'll be able to get notifications when I release um, new videos in this light in subsequent time. So thank you very much once more for being here with me, and let's walk through what we have for today. So we'll be going through skill configuration and skills-based routing in dynamic CRM. So the whole concept of skill-based routing, it's an advanced level of routing your service requests as they come to your agents. So your agents are very good at different skill sets based on the whole products and services you offer in your organization. So there are some agents that you notice are very much good at certain skills based on how your products are structured, and you want those agents to be the one that will pick specific requests that are in that line. So that's what skill-based routing helps you to do in dynamic CRM, and it's a super tool to help you reduce the turnaround time of moving cases from one agent to another based on their skill sets or how well they are good in those specific area. So let me just walk us through what we'll be covering. So as usual, we'll be covering the business requirement scenario, which we always do in our videos to give us the base context of what our client is looking for. Then also we'll do an overview of skill-based routing, skill type configuration, then skill and rating skill configuration. Then I'll also do skills assignments to agent, then configure our work streams that will collect the service request and assign do the classification on them, and also assign them to a queue, and the agent in that queue that has that skill set will then receive it. Then we'll walk through a demo. So for this, as I stated earlier on, so what our business is looking out for is we want service requests that to be classified, so skills should be assigned to them, and the agent that best match the skill set needed for that service request should be the one that will receive that service request. So I have a sample picture of that. So let's say this is an example. So a case was created. Let's call this case 001. And the skills that are needed for that case is maybe Python, and this skill rating should be excellent. Then IT the skill rating should be better. Then English, the skill rating should be good. So you have these agents that are members of your queue. So you have agent 001, agent 002, and agent 003. So agent 001 has a skill set of Python, MSI, and Spanish. And the rating for agent 001 is good, excellent, and very good for those skill sets respectively. While for agent 002, the skill sets and ratings are Python, IT, English, functional reporting, and these are the ratings. While for agent 003, the skill sets are MSI, Spanish, and English, and these are the rating. So basically, what happens with omnichannel is, for if for this case now we're looking for close match. So close match is it checks the best agent with respect to how close the person is to the skill sets that are required for the case. So what Omnichannel will do, Omnichannel will check across all these skill sets and look for the person that has more of those skill sets and best match to what the skill is looking for. So when we check, it was agent 2 that will be picked. Why is because so agent 2 has good, we're using best match. So what we're looking for is excellent, which is close to this. And agent 2 also has IT and English. So which are the three skills that are required for this service request? And if you could see, is the only one that has those three skill sets. So he's the best match, and based on the ratings that was given here. So we expect this service request to be assigned to agent 2. So let's just see how this works in Dynamics CRM. So I'll just give a quick demo before we go how those stuffs will be creating. So we'll go head over to Customer Service Hub, go to Cases. So I've done all the configuration for this one, but let me just do test case. I'm creating a case test case on skills skill sets. Then I'll call this bug reports, call this functional bug, and give this to just any of my customers. Then I'll save and route. So our case sample case has been created. So let's go in and see what the case looks like. Great. So the case has been created, and as we can see, it's assigned to agent 002 CRM. So first of all, it was created by me for this customer. Omnichannel picked it up, and based on all the configuration made in the system, it was now routed, and based on the skill set, it was given to agent 002. So why was it given to agent 002? So let's check our routing diagnostics. Let me refresh this so that to pick the current case here. This is our test case on skill set. So when I click on this, yeah, good. So when we check the intake rule, pick the case for the work stream because bug report was selected on that group. Then when we go to classification, so skill, so we saw that because of the conditions we set, that it's bug, if it's bug reports and functional bugs, it should assign Python code debugging good, IT better, and English good to the service request, which it did. Then it's routed it to the queue, which is site allocation, which the agent belongs to. Then if you could see at the assignment here, you could see nearest proficient for all skills. And the person it gave that to is agent 002. So that's basically a run through. So this is the work stream that was picked. And if you could see here, our default skill matching algorithm was closest match. So closest match is it to check who is the best agent based on all the skill sets that are needed for that service request. So you could see also that this where the classification is done and this where the intake is done. Then this is just basically our classification. So skills skills. So you can see it to check these conditions, then attach this skill set to it. Then these are the agents that are members of this allocation. As you can see, it was given to agent 002 because when you check the bookable results for agent 002, you could see IT is the rating is good and the Python code debugging, the rating for this agent is very good. So that's basically how the system routes to agent based on the skill set you give to them and the queues they belong to and how the workstream picks it and classifies that. So this is what I'm going to show you how to configure. So I'm going to give you a walkthrough on how to configure each of the process down to so that your agents receive service requests based on the skill sets they have and based on the skill sets needed for that service request. Okay, so now we'll head back to creating all what we've seen from the previous demo. So to start off, let's just go back to a slide. So what next? So the first thing we need to do is to create the skill type. So basically what the script skill type does is to create together the skills that you want to put together. So you could classify your skills based on specific skill type. So to do that, so just go back here and click on your settings icon here. Then click on advanced settings. So when we're on the advanced settings, so you click on this drop down, go to customization. So when you click on customization, click on customize the system. So maximize this. Okay, great. So we have our output. So then you go to option sets, click on option sets. Then under option set, what we're looking for is bookable resource. So click on this. So click on the bookable resource characteristics. So when I double click on this, so I have all the bookable resources. So this is where you create your skills. So so I'll just add this when I click on add. So let me just call this web stack, something like this. So when I click here, I could click save. Okay, so our stuff is saved. So what I want to do now is to just publish this. So publish what we just saved now. Okay, great. So we're done publishing. So if you just close this and also close this. Yeah. So now we're done with our skill. So let's go and confirm the skill we created. So you just click on this here, go to your customer service admin center. So on the customer service admin center, to user management, then under user management, go to your skills hub. So click on skills hub. Then under skills, just click see all. Then you can see the web stack we just created. But there's no skills yet under web stack. So this is what we just created, which is a skill. You see web stack here. So now to add skill, so you just click under skills, click on manage. So now I want to add a skill under web stack, this one. So I'll click on create. So which option am I looking for? I'm looking for web stack. So the skill name, I could just call this, I have some written down here, or operating systems, something like this, right? Then I could add users. So I want to see use agents, the agents that are inside the location key, which is agent 001, agent 002, and agent 003. So I could just, or let me finish creating these skills, then I could come add users. So this just create the skill set. So I click on create. Then you see proceed back. Let me minimize all these other skills. Click on create here. So we're still looking on web stack. So the other skill I have here is database application. So maybe people are support agents that work on the application end. Then I'll proceed also to add the last one. Just have three here, just so that we make this quick. Then web server. So these are stacks that are under the web stack. So we now have our skills already created, right? Which are all these. So now let's say um, agents 003 is good in all three of these, right? And in database, he is good with a good rating. Then for operation settings, he has is fair. Then web server is excellent. So that's basically what we call uh, the skill sets. So let me go back to user management, go back to admin. So you can see proficiency skill. So when I click on manage, so I'll have all the skill ratings that you could use for your skills. So let me create one. I'll call this web stack skill rating. So these are the ratings you could give your agent. So the maximum value is one. The minimum value is one and maximum value is five. So for one, what we have will be, let's say good, let's say fair, because it's fair enough. Let's say average, let's say good, let's say very good, sorry, very good, let's say excellent, right? So I could click on create. So fantastic. So you could see we've created our proficiency skill. So this is what you use to rate the agents when you give them those skill sets. So now I can now go back to my skill sets and assign them to agents. So let's proceed down to web stack. So let's say so for database, let's give agent 003 and 001. So let's have agent 003. So let's 001 and 003. So I'll add agents, then I can add their proficiency. So when I click on 001, so let's say, then you go down to, can you see it's web stack skill rating. So this guy, let's say agent 001 is fair on this, and agent 003 is very good. So I could click on save. So that's done. So the next one is data operating system. So for operating system, let's give this to agent 002 and 003. Add selected. So for this, I'll add his proficiency to be excellent. Sorry, not this. Update proficiency to be excellent. And for 03, let's say it's good here under operating system. So I could click on save. Okay, so we're done with that. Close this. Then go to the last. The last is web server. So for web server, I could give, let's just give it to only agent 3. So only agent 3 is good on web server. So let's agent 3 and I'll click on add user. So when I click on proficiency, uh, agent 3 is average. Was the only one that has that skill set. So I click on save. So basically, that's how you assign skill sets to agents and also rate them on how good they are in that skill set. So we are done with creating our skill, creating the skill type, and we are done with assigning them to agents. So let's go back to our slide. So what we just did is we created the skill and the rating skill configuration. So the next is we did skill sets assignments to agents. Then now we will create our work stream configuration so that we could pick service requests that come and route it appropriately to this agent. So what we'll do is I'll go to work streams. So I'll just click on new work stream. So let's call this web skill work streams. So something like this. So the record will be records. This is some case we wanted to push. And what the default to fall to um, all users if the conditions are not met. So click on create. So our work stream is created. So let's create our intake rule for this work stream. So what we just do is let's keep it very simple. So web skill intake, just call it something like this. So our condition will add a row, and so for this, I'll just say if any of the group is selected, so this workstream should pick it up. So where's the group? This group and equal to this or this or this. So what should it do? It should route it to this work stream, and the work stream we're looking at for is web skill work stream. So create. So that this is picked first, so I'll click on this and move it to the top. So that this will be the no, not this, sorry. So see more. Then I'll move it to the top this. So that to be the first that will be evaluated to the top, to the top. Okay, good. So now I go back. And if I click on see more again now, you could see that it's the one on the top. So this will be the first intake rule that will be evaluated so that it will pick the service request when they come in. So the next is I want to classify it and apply. So classification is where you apply your skills to the service request so that it can be given to the appropriate agent. So I'll create rule for classification, create a new. So I'll call this set skills and case. So you could also use a machine learning model. So have a video session on how you could create a machine learning model for your skill sets and also apply that. So we'll do that in a subsequent video. But for this, we'll just be using the logical rule. So I'll click on create. Okay, so our work classification set is created. So now we just create a rule. So what do we want to do? Rule, call this web stack. Sorry, web stack rule. So what we want to do is we want to check if group, let's say, let's use the same thing. If any of this is selected, right, it should classify case. So you see, you go to skills. So what are the skills you want to apply to this now? You come here. So I want to put web server. You want to put, uh, let's say good. So that the person should be good on web server. The person should be good on database, and the person should be good on, let's say, operating system. So we are expecting this, any case that comes here should go to agent 003 because he's the one that has all these skill sets, and on averages you could see that he has these skill sets and he surpassed the skill rating that is required for it. So we just click on save and close. So what we're saying is, if a case is created, what should be this skill set should be assigned if any of these are selected for the group. So I could click on create. So this is our classification. So you go back to your work stream, then we are all done on that. So when the work stream is when the case is now classified, the next thing is for us to assign it to a queue, assign to agent queue. So click on create. So now create our rule. Queue, let's just call this queue rule. So what we're looking for is the same thing. So if the group is any of that, equals to this or this or this. So what do we want it to do? We want it to route it to a queue, and that is site allocation where agent 003, 002, and 001 are members. So you should route it to this queue. Click on create, and then we're done with that. Then the last thing we need to configure is our default skill matching. So what we want here is we want our we want it to be close match, so not exact match. So exact match, we check that the conditions you set for the skill set, the agent must have it before the agent will receive that service request. Why close match? It is to check the best count of who has the most closest skill set needed for that service request. So I'll just put on close match, and I'll leave everything as default, and I'll click on save and close. So great. Now we are done with configuring our skills, configuring work streams that will pick them up, and routing it to the appropriate agent. So now let's quickly do a test and see how our stuff looks like. So I'll hover here and I'll click on go to customer service hub, just like the way we did initially on the start of the video. The customer service hub. So great. So I go to cases. Uh, it's coming up. So good. So I'll click on new. So I'll say test case for web stack skills, right? So the group will just make a bug. This one put on functional bug, and I'll give it to this customer. Then I'll just save and route. So you're going to ask me if I want to route. Yes, I'll route this. Great. So let me go to all cases so I could see it even when it's no longer assigned to me. So it's kicking off. So now we could go to our routing diagnostic to see how the routing is going. So when I click on this, so I could see test case. Can you see the status? So intake rule is completed. So if I refresh this, so you see route to queue is completed. So if I refresh this, Still working. So just give it some time so that when it's done, it will assign it to the appropriate agent. Yeah, so as you can see now, it's completed. It has assigned it to an agent. So you could troubleshoot from here. You can see we gave it to assigned agent is this. So the work stream is web skill work stream. The queue allocation is site allocation record. So you could troubleshoot and see what actually happened there. So when I click on this, yes, so I can see it's picked it to work stream, and these were the skills that are required. Web server good, database good, operating system good. Then it gave it to this queue, and this agent was given. So when you click on this, you could see everything that went through. So let's confirm and see who this service request is currently assigned to. So when I go here, I click on this. Fantastic. So you see now, agent 003 has received the service request. And I could track all what happened here. First, it was created by me for this customer. It was picked by omnichannel, route through their work stream, then assigned to the best agent that had the skill sets necessary for the service request. So that's basically how you configure skill sets in Dynamic CRM and configure your work streams and classify those service requests so that agents that are very good in those skills that service request needs are the ones that service requests are assigned to. And with that, you'll be able to increase the quick turnaround time, also increase the quick quality of service requests that your customers will be getting from agents that are supporting them. So thank you very much for your time. Do well to subscribe so that you could get notification on subsequent videos I'll be dishing out in order to help you work easy, work smart, and achieve more using the dynamic solutions that are available to you. So thank you very much for your time.